Hello, everyone, and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time. Let's jump right into the news. The House has now advanced the $3.5 trillion reconciliation package, and there was a stalemate, if you will, between House Speaker Pelosi and Centrists, which has now ended. You'll see this headline on your screen from Politico. All House Democrats indeed voted in favor of the spending bill framework after Speaker Nancy Pelosi clinched a deal with defiant House Democrats. Folks, let me give you the big picture here. This was always destined to pass the House because of the majority of Democrats in the House. Even though it's a razor-thin majority, House Speaker Pelosi could not afford to lose more than 3 Democrats. She ended up getting them all on her side. But now things move over to the Senate because in the Senate, the conservative Democrat from West Virginia, Joe Manchin, needs to vote in favor of this. The independent from Vermont, Angus King, needs to vote in favor of this. Senator Kristen Sinema, the Democrat from Arizona, needs to vote in favor of this. And I believe they will. And if they don't, they're probably going to get a call from the President of the United States, Joe Biden. So this is likely to pass the Senate. And if there's a tiebreaker, which it's likely to be, because there'll be 50 votes in favor of the $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation. If there's a need for a tiebreaker, then the Vice President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris, will cast a tie-breaking vote. So the House vote clears the way for Democrats to actually pursue a massive package that could pass both chambers without Republican support, and it sets a vote on the 27th of September on the Senate-passed infrastructure bill. Remember, that's a $1 trillion infrastructure plan. So all the Democrats, including the roughly dozen Democrats who threatened to tank the party line spending plan, the $3.5 trillion plan, actually voted in favor. And this is a show of party unity for the Democrats that the Democrats were desperately looking for. Now, this agreement was actually struck between House Speaker Pelosi and the group of centrist Democrats that were led by Congressman Josh Gottheimer, the Democrat from New Jersey, following many hours of negotiations that went late into the night on Monday. House Speaker Pelosi actually outlined the details of the compromise in a statement that was released during the vote, and she actually thanked Gottheimer and his group for, I quote, their enthusiastic support for the infrastructure bill. Here's what she said in the letter. I am committed to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill by the 27th of September. I do so with a commitment to rally House Democratic support for its passage. We must keep the 51 vote privilege by passing the budget and work with the House and Senate Democrats to reach agreement in order for the House to vote on a Build Back Better Act that will pass the Senate. Now, this compromise is a significant victory for Josh Gottheimer, the Democrat from New Jersey, for Congressman Henry Cuellar, who's a Democrat from Texas, and Congressman Stephanie Mayer, who is a Democrat from the state of Florida, and many other centrists who have been telling the leadership for weeks that they would vote against the budget resolution unless House Speaker Pelosi actually made sure that the Senate-passed infrastructure bill would be voted for immediately in the House. So it looks like they got what they wanted, but in a way, House Speaker Pelosi also got what she wanted. So this is what the moderate Democrats said in a statement. This is a big win for America and will help get people to work and shovels in the ground. We have established a path forward that ensures we can pass this once-in-a-lifetime infrastructure investment by the 27th of September, allowing us to create millions of jobs and bring our nation into the 21st century. So this is very interesting, folks. You can see that the Democrats who are arguing internally essentially have come to an agreement. Basically, these moderate Democrats wanted a commitment from House Speaker Pelosi and the entire leadership team within the House Democrats that they would take part in extensive negotiations with Senate moderates, particularly Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, who I mentioned earlier, before putting that $3.5 trillion bill on the floor of the Senate. They were actually concerned that a bill that passed the House would simply go ignored inside the United States Senate. Here's a very interesting comment from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, the Democrat from Minnesota. You know, the whole thing was a fiasco, to be honest. I really don't know why they try to get into something without having an actual goal that they wanted to accomplish. It seems like amateur hour. So many progressives initially were quiet, but many prominent progressives said that this was very irritating. Here's a quote from House Democrat Caucus Chairman Hakeem Jeffries, who's a Democrat from New York. He said this: democracy is messy and Democrats are not a cult. We are a coalition. We are a big family. We are a diverse family. At times, we are a very enthusiastic family, but that is the House of Representatives. In fact, why don't we hear from Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, again, the Democrat from New York, who's a Democrat caucus chairman. Let's roll the tape and hear from Congressman Hakeem Jeffries and see exactly what he had to say. Let's watch.
Democrats are not a cult, we're a coalition. And when you're a coalition of progressives and New Dems and Blue Dogs, of people on the left and on the center left and in the center of the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus and the Asian and Pacific Islander Caucus and the Women's Caucus and the Equality Caucus, we're proud of the fact that we actually reflect the gorgeous mosaic of the American people in every possible way.
And so, folks, this is a big development. Here's another headline on your screen, this time from CNN. House approves $3.5 trillion budget plan in a key step for Democrats to pass legislation expanding social safety net. So in short, folks, the House vote came after painstaking negotiations between the Democrats and a group of moderates that yielded a compromise that will, I won't say could, but will lead to the passage of the $3.5 trillion stimulus package in both the House, which has already happened, and the Senate. There was a lot of gridlock about this in the past 48 hours, but we are now past that point. Here's another headline on your screen, this time from Bloomberg. Pelosi strikes deal with moderates on Biden economic agenda. This agreement is actually advancing the $3.5 trillion budget resolution, and the separate $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill is teed up for a later vote. What does all of this mean, folks? Let me break it down for you and keep it really simple for you. This means we will see the passage of the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill from the Senate pass the House. We will see that happen before the 27th of September. This also means that the $3.5 trillion budget resolution, which essentially is a way of saying, hey, let's set aside $3.5 trillion for what the Democrats want to do, that is going to definitely pass the House and is definitely going to pass the Senate once the White House, once House Speaker Pelosi gets the support of Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, which I believe is going to happen. I do believe Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema will support this. There may have to be some scaling back of the $3.5 trillion proposal, but I don't think that two senators, one from West Virginia and one from Arizona, are going to sabotage a $3.5 trillion infrastructure plan, which is going to be crucial for the country, and it's going to be crucial for the Democrats in the midterms in 2022 and crucial for the re-election of President Joe Biden. This is a political game as well as an economic victory for the country. Remember, at the end of the day, politics is about timing, it's about opportunity, it's about tribalism, us against them, and it is about perception. Democrats want to create the perception that they were the ones who moved the country forward with an ambitious infrastructure plan, and Republicans will say, hey, we were the ones who helped pass the $1 trillion infrastructure plan, and the Democrats will say, no, that was not enough. We simply needed to do more, and we got it done, not the Republicans, but we, the Democrats, got it done. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.